Today, I am going to teach you the 6 traditional tests that my father taught me in the orchards. You will never waste your money on a bad plum again. Picking a plum that is burst in your mouth sweet, the kind that drips down your chin when you bite it under the summer sun, is not a game of luck. It is a lost art. Our grandmothers and the orchardists of old didn't guess. They read the fruit. First, we must look for the dust of the orchard. Look closely at this plum on the branch. You see this cloudy, whitish, powdery coating? In Greece, we call it the bloom. Botanically, it is epicuticular wax. The tree secretes this wax naturally to lock in moisture, repel heavy rainwater, and protect the fruit from bacteria and sunburn. When you go to the market, do not look for the shiny, polished plums. If the bloom is intact and cloudy, it tells you 2 things. First, the fruit was handled with extreme care and not tossed around in large industrial sorting drums. Second, it is fresh. If a plum is shiny and bare, it means it has been handled too much, rubbed raw, or picked green and artificially waxed. Look for the dust. It is nature's seal of freshness. The second test is the color saturation, specifically where the stem meets the fruit. We call this the stem cavity. Many people look at the side of the plum, but the true story is told at the top. The color, whether you are buying purple, red, or yellow plums, must be fully saturated and uniform. If you see green shoulders or a pale green halo inside the stem cavity, put it back. That green ring means the plum was snapped off the tree prematurely. The branch was still feeding it, and the tree had not finished sending its final rush of sugars. A plum can turn purple on a shelf, but it will never get sweeter once that stem is severed. We want deep color, all the way down into the pocket. Now, picking the perfect plum is only half the battle. Once you bring them home, they wait for no one. A perfectly ripe plum must be used before it spoils and goes to waste. When I have a harvest like this and my kitchen is overflowing, I open an app on my phone called suggestdinner. It is a wonderful tool on Android. I simply type in the fresh ingredients I have, like these plums, some lamb chops, or even some leftover tart dough, and the app instantly gives me delicious dinner ideas. Today, it suggested a rich Cretan plum sauce for my roasted lamb and a rustic plum tart for dessert. Nothing goes to waste, and dinner is sorted. If you want to make the most of your fresh produce, search for Suggest Dinner on the Google Play Store and download it today. Test number 3 is the yield test, but you must do it correctly. Most people grab a plum and squeeze it right in the middle. Do not do this. You will bruise the delicate flesh and make the shopkeeper very angry. Instead, perform the stem cavity squeeze. You see, a plum ripens from the bottom apex up towards the stem. The last part of the plum to mature is the shoulder around the stem cavity. Hold the plum and press very gently with the pad of your thumb right on the top shoulder. If it is rock hard, it is unripe. If it yields with a soft, pillowy resistance, not mushy, but yielding, it means the ripening process has fully reached the top. The plum is ready. Next is the density test. Pick up 2 plums of the same size. Hold one in your left hand and one in your right. Bounce them slightly. You are feeling for weight to size ratio. A plum that is heavy for its size is packed with concentrated sugar and juice. The cell structure is fully hydrated and swollen with nectar. If a plum feels surprisingly light, it has either been stored in cold chambers for too long, causing it to dehydrate and turn mealy, or it was picked so early that the juice channels never fully developed. You want a heavy, dense fruit. It should feel like a water balloon ready to burst. The 5th test is your nose. Bring the stem cavity right up to your nostrils. Do not smell the side, smell the stem end where the fruit was connected to the life of the tree. A truly mature plum will release a rich, sweet, floral, and slightly musky aroma. It smells like summer. If you sniff the stem and smell absolutely nothing, just cold air, it was kept in a gas-controlled cold room to stop it from ripening naturally. If it has no perfume, it will have no taste. Trust your nose. The tree always leaves its scent behind. Finally, the 6th test, and this is the secret of the old orchardists. Look for micro-wrinkling. Most people see a tiny wrinkle on a fruit and think, oh, this is old, it is spoiling. They look for skin as tight as a drum. But look here, right near the stem. You see these micro crinkles? This is not decay. This is the holy grail of plum selection. It tells us the plum has reached absolute peak maturity on the branch and has begun to naturally transpire, letting go of excess water. As the water evaporates through the skin, the sugars inside concentrate. We call it natural curing. If you find a plum with micro wrinkles near the stem that still passes the shoulder squeeze test, buy it immediately. It will be sweet as wild honey. Now let us talk about the science, because there's a common myth on the internet. People say, if your plums are hard and sour, just put them in a paper bag on the counter for a few days, and they will become sweet. This is botanically impossible. Plums are climacteric fruits. This means that after they are cut from the tree, they will respond to ethylene gas and soften. The cell walls will break down, and the skin will change color. But unlike apples or bananas, plums do not store starch reserves. They cannot convert starch into sugar once they leave the tree. If you put a sour, unripe plum in a paper bag, you will get a soft, sour plum. The sweetness is decided on the branch. If it wasn't sweet when it was picked, it will never be sweet. So, tell me in the comments below, which of these 6 tests is new to you? Did your grandmother have a different way of selecting them? I want to hear your family secrets. And make sure to subscribe, because in our next video, I am going to show you how to take these perfectly ripe plums and turn them into a traditional Greek plum spoon sweet. It is the taste of my childhood, preserved in a jar.